Hi everybody, it's Dandruff with your news Cartridge for Friday, February 3rd, 2017. Welcome back from the long break, everyone. I just want to say thank you to everyone who wished me well and gave me support while I was dealing with the flu. Obviously, my voice isn't at 100% yet, but I thought it was good enough to do the show because I really wanted to get back into it, and we have some things to discuss later on, so stick around till the end. So let's start with Stardew Valley, one of my favorite releases from last year, which is getting a physical edition for both Xbox One and PS4 on April 11th in North America and April 13th in Europe. Hopefully by then, the official multiplayer would have released for all platforms. I am absolutely going to get back into the game once that comes out, so hurry up already! Another game getting its physical release for console is Dead by Daylight, the hide-and-seek horror game, and it's coming to us in the second quarter of 2017 from 505 Games and Starbreeze Studios. Next month on February 7th, Fallout Shelter, the popular free-to-play mobile game, will make an appearance on Xbox One and will have Xbox Play Anywhere features compatible with the Windows 10 version. Yesterday was American Truck Simulator's first birthday, and SCS Software announced that the game's next DLC will be New Mexico, but there is no exact release date pinned down just yet, and nothing was mentioned about its price either. Anyone else out there a fan of ATS? Because I absolutely love the game. Let me know in the comment section down below. In the next firmware update for PS4, they will be adding external drive support, finally allowing you to install games on as many external drives that you have. Dark Souls 3 from Software is getting a new patch next week Wednesday on the 8th for all three platforms, which will bring a bunch of bug fixes. Moving on with the updates, the beta for Injustice 2 has been updated, adding the Blue Beetle, and if you haven't gotten your invite yet, check your email because they're going out now. Another beta you might be interested in is for Ghost Recon Wildlands, which officially started today, and by the time this episode airs, all regions should have access to it. Congratulations if you got in, let me know what you think of it. Mafia 3 has a bit of its development road path revealed, and it will be getting 3 pieces of DLC that will expand the storyline throughout the year. Stay tuned to News Cartridge for more details as we get closer to the release, with the first one being called Faster Baby, releasing sometime by the end of March. The game director for Hearthstone, Ben Brody, has announced that balance changes are on their way later this month, specifically citing changes to, quote, the meta, balance, and shaman. Ubisoft has confirmed post-launch DLC for For Honor will follow the same style they used for Rainbow Six Siege, where season pass holders will get access to the new characters a week before everyone else and will not have to spend in-game currency. In all honesty, I really do enjoy this style of DLC because it doesn't make you feel compelled to buy the season pass, and you know that as long as you play the game long enough, you'll get everything that you want. And speaking of Rainbow Six Siege, my favorite shooter is having a free weekend on PC, Xbox One, and PS4 until late Sunday night. I absolutely recommend that everyone go download and play it if you really like shooters. The game has only gotten better since launch, and there's even more players. Moving on to today's stories with more substance, the team behind the infamous key resale site known as G2A hosted an AMA, or Ask Me Anything, on Reddit yesterday, and in a word, shitstorm. Yeah, it did not go particularly well, with the post itself being downvoted into oblivion, but the top question asked, or rather series of questions, felt like the answers had no substance when they were very substantial questions. And at one point accused the asker of being a, quote, jackass because they were told that they were driving developers away from the PC platform, which in my opinion, one could definitely make that argument. If you want to read the whole thing, there's a link in the description down below. Valve is being investigated by the European Commission for allegedly geo-blocking their games, which is in conflict with the European Union antitrust laws. And what's really interesting is it's believed that they imposed geo-blocking a few years ago to combat places like G2A, because people could just buy keys from a country where the exchange rate benefits them and then resell them for US currency or whatever currency for a profit. A bit of insight has been given to us about why the Nintendo Switch launch lineup may feel a bit weak, and this is not done on accident. Nintendo is staggering the release of their more well-known titles in order to encourage customers to continue actively playing the system, which maintains buzz and spurs a continued sales momentum for Nintendo Switch. In other words, here's Zelda, play Zelda until Splatoon 2 comes out, then play Splatoon 2 until Mario Kart 8 Enhanced releases, and so on and so on. On one hand, this does make sense for Nintendo because the reasoning is rather sound. But on the other hand, they have all of these amazing games that will eventually come to the Switch, but unless there's 3 or 4 games that I absolutely have to have that I can't get on another platform, I'm not going to consider getting one. So while this may keep a different type of gamer playing from title to title, the kind of gamer that I am wants to wait until there's more substantial titles, and therefore they won't get my money immediately, or possibly at all. I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see if this works out for him. Wow, it's a long episode today. Hold on, we have only got 2 more to go before we do game releases. Conan Exiles released earlier this week, and thank you Polar Bear 1147. Everybody should go check him out. There'll be a link down below for him, for talking me into getting it, because I am absolutely loving it and I'm having a fun time, and I totally recommend it to anybody out there who likes early access survival games. It's pretty much Ark Survival Evolved without the dinosaurs and a bigger focus on melee combat, but that makes it much more different than you would think. But I'm not here to talk about how much fun I've been having with the games that I've been playing lately. I'm here to tell you about news, and the team at Funcom had a major oops shortly after the game's release. Conan Exiles is an indie title, and in order to protect their game from pirates, they employed the Denuvo DRM. If you've been following my show, you may remember that Denuvo was once called the Uncrackable DRM, and it was thwarted late last year. Even the recently released Resident Evil 7, which used Denuvo, was cracked within a week. Well, pirates had their work done for them by Funcom, as they accidentally released an early version of the game on Steam completely without their DRM. Yeah. Oops. Now, this is not as bad as you would think, because it was one of the first versions of the game to be released, and because of the nature of early access survival games, there's been at least 5 updates since then, so pirates are using an older version of the game that doesn't function properly. If people do pirate the game and like it, and then they want to play a more stable, up-to-date version, they would have to purchase it, so this could work out for them. And that brings us to our final topic of the day, the circle of life, and it could get you fired! On Wednesday, Kotaku released an article stating GameStop's employees have to abide by a policy known as the Circle of Life, which has been going on now for the better part of a decade. The article outlines some business practices that GameStop's employees must utilize in order to meet certain quotas for different things like pre-order sales, selling used games, signing people up for their rewards program, and for trade-ins. If these quotas are not met, this could potentially lead to employees getting fired, which leads those people to take drastic measures, such as lying and saying they don't have a new copy of a game in stock when all they have is a used copy. Also, I don't know how you make people trade in more things. It seems really unfair to punish employees because people aren't selling things to the store. Now, I personally do not like GameStop because of their constant badgering of customers for pre-orders, and I'm the kind of guy who likes to speak their mind and say every time that they ask me that pre-ordering is bad for our gaming hobby. They then insist that this is just how business is done now, so the manufacturer can sell exactly how many copies are made and no more. My reply to that is not how supply and demand works, and no other industry has this policy. Just imagine if you couldn't get a movie on Blu-ray or a music album because you didn't pre-order it. Thankfully, that doesn't exist. GameStop then came forward releasing a memo saying that those allegations are not true and it's discouraged for employees to lie to customers. At the same time, many supposed employees or former employees have stepped forward saying yes indeed, Circle of Life has led them to some pretty shady business practices. I'm going to leave it up to you, the viewer, to determine whether or not these policies are true, but let me go off script a little bit and talk about one of my recent purchases from GameStop. Now, Twilight Princess HD had just released, and I think I was trying to get it 2 or 3 days after launch. I walked into GameStop and saw a literal stack of them. There was between 25 and 30 in a pyramid shape, and they had some off to the sides. I figured, cool, I can buy it. The first thing they asked me when I asked to buy it was if I pre-ordered it. Of course, I said no. Their reply was that all of those games were already pre-ordered. Yeah, I wasn't believing that shit at all. So after a little bit of come on, sell me the thing, they checked with another employee and they said, yes, okay, we do have one we can sell you. And here it is. Now, it should not be that hard to give them my money. I don't necessarily believe that it was the truth that all of those games were already claimed when I got one. I really feel like it was a struggle to buy this damn thing, and GameStop, if you didn't want my money, well, you should have just told me because I am happy to completely avoid your store. And let's be real, there's really nothing there for me as a PC gamer anyway. Here's something we all can enjoy. Monday's game releases because I'm off for the next 2 days because gotta trim the beard. Takes a day per side. For PC, Red Haze, Once Upon a Windswept Night, The Screamer VR, Tale of Fallen Dragons, Sweetest Monster, and Ignition. Thank you very much, everybody. This has been News Cartridge. I am Dandruff. I will see you on Monday, and don't hate me for this joke. There were some grammar Nazis in a coal mine. One goes up to Hitler and says, "We're mining too much coal." Hitler says, "Well, mine less." The grammar Nazi looks at him and says, "Mine fewer." Hitler says, "Yes?" Please don't kill me for that joke, please. Oh, jeez. All right. Thank you so much for, again, everybody, thank you so much for all of your support while I was sick, while I'm still dealing with this. I don't like being sick. It's terrible. Especially when I'm having to hold my head up to watch YouTube videos because everything just hurts so much. Thankfully, all that's gone. None of that anymore. Just gotta wait for this to clear up a little bit more. Hopefully, it'll be gone by Monday, if not by Wednesday at the latest. Yeah, I'm gonna go play Conan Exiles for the weekend and other games. Rainbow Six Siege. Everybody go play Rainbow Six Siege. Social media links are over here as always. They're also down in the top of the description down below. Click over here to subscribe. Click over here for the last episode. I don't remember when the last episode was. Thank you. I love you. I will see you next time.